I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're thrust into the gripping narrative of a wonderful book. It is called Lightning Shadow by Richard Solmes. Follow Regan Clery, a magazine worker turned detective, as she embarks on a mission to unravel the enigmatic presence of billionaire Carter Thomas in Haiti. What begins as a career-defining opportunity quickly descends into a web of conspiracy, connecting dots from Afghanistan to the CIA and Cuban intelligence. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his wonderful book. The links are below this interview. Richard, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Logan. It's great to be here.
This is a great story. Could you tell us a little bit about the inspiration for Lightning Shadow, particularly its setting in Haiti and its connection to past events in Afghanistan?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I've always been a conspiracy thriller fan. I love to read them. I have a couple others I've been working on, and I had the idea for taking a young female journalist and dropping her into a situation where she finds herself a pawn in a vast conspiracy of not of her making. But I was struggling with the setting a little bit, and then around 2015, I read this book by the ex Haitian ambassador of the United States. He was the ambassador back during the major earthquake in 2010, and he wrote this book called For Whom the Dogs Spy. And it describes Haitian politics from Papa Doc Duvalier all the way through to the earthquake in 2010. And it was absolutely fascinating. It talks about how voodoo was a major part of Haitian politics. And reading through this, and I had been a history major in college, so I knew how heavy-handed the United States had been with Haiti over the past century. It kind of, the setting just kind of fell out for me. So I was like, that's where I need to send Regan, is I need to send her to Haiti, because it just lended itself to the perfect conspiracy environment with voodoo, with the CIA, with all the machinations that go on within Haitian politics. So that really was the inspiration for the book, was reading this history novel by the ambassador from Haiti.
That's very cool. It is a great setting because it's beautiful. Haiti's
Yes.
beautiful. It's treacherous. And like you said, there's this whole web of deceit that's part of the government and quasi-government and militia and military and so forth. Tell us, let's go over a brief overview of the book for the folks at home. What's the story?
Yeah, so effectively, this young journalist who has, traumas of her own from her father was a fireman in 9/11 and passed away in 9/11. And she struggles with his passing. She comes from a working class family. Breezy Point, which is where she's from in Long Island, is a very working class Irish neighborhood. So, she works at a couple jobs in local newspapers within Brooklyn. She has a man she marries who turns out to be a bit of a failure. And she's sort of in this bit of a rut in her career when she's offered this opportunity by her editor, who she's never met, to go do a lead story. So she had never done a lead story before. She'd always done background pieces for this magazine. And she's told to go down to Haiti to interview this mysterious billionaire. Now, he's famous, but he's a bit of a, I kind of based the billionaire a little bit sort of on a mix of Elon Musk and the guy from Virgin Airlines,
Richard Branson.
Richard Branson, thank you. And, sort of that just kind of enigmatic, mysterious type of billionaire. So she's sent down to Haiti to interview him, and finds that she's been sent for reasons not made clear to her. So while she thought it was just going to be a straightforward interview, she finds she's actually the center of a conspiracy involving the CIA and a struggle going on within Haitian politics between the extreme right and the extreme left to control Haiti, and the CIA backing the right and then Cuban intelligence backing the left. And she becomes caught in the middle of it. And there are aspects of the voodoo religion practices that get pulled into the mix. And so that adds a level of what I say mystery for her. She can't, there's elements of the supernatural without really being the supernatural. So she's never quite sure if things are, if they're real or not in terms of what she's experiencing with regards to the voodoo religion. So she just finds herself getting deeper and deeper. And then at some point, she realizes the only way to work herself out of the situation she's got herself into is basically get to the truth, try to get to the truth of the matter. And so that becomes sort of the driving of the plot is to unravel this conspiracy and figure out what the truth of it is, and working with another journalist, possibly publish it to get her out from under the suspicions, or out from under the you know under the guise of the CIA and Cuban intelligence.
It's a great story. She's a great character, great settings, lots of intrigue, kind of James Bond-esque in a way,
Right.
reminds me a little bit of Live and Let Die with the whole voodoo aspect of it as
Thank you.
well. Have you envisioned this as a movie, perhaps?
It's funny you say that, Logan. When you I've read a number of novels where I like the ones, especially conspiracy thrillers, where it feels like it could be a movie.
Hmm.
The pacing is, and so I attempted to, you know, it's always, I think, a little heady to think that your book could be a movie. But when I was writing it, I tried to visualize it as movie scenes as I was
Hmm.
writing it. So that, I think there are aspects of it that, hopefully lends itself to movies, because I was thinking that way. But I think there's even references within the novel to, I think I make several references to things feeling like they're, in a movie projector, or there are, she feels like she's watching a movie. So I think the
Right.
intent was to try to give it sort of that cinema feel as I
Yep,
was
has
writing
those
it up.
cinematic overtones for sure. And like I said, the settings are great. She's a great character, kind of an iconic character, almost like a noir detective of the modern age, but she's not a PI. She's a journalist. I think it's all great. Who would play Regan Clery?
Um, a great question. There is so the woman who I probably um, uh, uh, I could see Jennifer Lawrence doing it. I could see
Hmm.
Jennifer Lawrence doing it. A young woman with that kind of grittiness. It's funny that you say that. I hadn't really thought about that, but as
Yeah.
I think about it, Jennifer Lawrence is probably somebody I could see doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's great. I mean, because she's both, an action star, a powerful presence, and also funny at times too,
Yeah, exactly.
which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah. Exactly.
She's got it all. She's a triple threat, that's for sure. Lightning Shadow. Tell the folks at home what the significance of the title is.
Yeah. So that's interesting, and it kind of came to me. Basically, events were happening, and they happened not just in Haiti but all around the world. A bombing would happen, or some kind of uh, you know tragic event would happen. And the theory behind it is, according to the characters, is that if you look closely, you can always see the man with the newspaper watching the event. You can see the man on the telephone who walks away after the explosion. And it's supposed to indicate that the shadow, if the lightning is the event itself, the shadow are the people who are basically creating the event. The
Hmm.
ones that you never see. In the book, it turns out to be the CIA, but they're the ones who are, creating the event. They disappear. They're hiding in the shadows. So the lightning strikes, but if you have to look closely, you might catch the shadow of the lightning, which is, you might see the man walking away calmly as everybody else is in chaos. So that was the intent of the title, Lightning Shadow, was to indicate that when you see lightning strike, there's always somebody in the shadows who are guiding events.
Very cool. I like it. It's also provocative. You wonder what it's all about,
Right.
which is great as well. So we appreciate that explanation, and I think it's good. You say you can't judge a book by its cover, but you've got a beautiful cover for your book, and you got a great title. Those are two important things to have on every book as well. Tell us about balancing historical and geopolitical realities with fiction in your book. Was it difficult? Was it fun? Did it give you the liberty that journalists don't have? Tell us what you think.
Yeah, that's a great question, Logan. Conspiracy thriller, a good conspiracy thriller to me has to be credible, right? So it
Mhm.
has to be able to seamlessly blend actual events with the speculation that kind of glues it together. But the speculation has to be credible. So it does give you a little bit of freedom. For me, a conspiracy thriller is always about the why. Why did something happen? Why are things happening? So, uh, you try to provide explanations. You try to make them sound as credible as possible. It obviously wasn't. It wasn't that much of a stretch to embed the CIA and Cuban intelligence into the story because they've actually been part of Haitian history under Aristide. Aristide was cozying up to the Castro brothers, so the Cuban intelligence aspect, wasn't that far of a stretch, and the CIA has been involved in Haitian politics for a long time. So I did try to stretch it a little farther. There is another secret organization in the story. It's sort of the peeling the onion back. As you peel back the layers, there's always another layer underneath.
Yeah.
So that was where I was trying to go, just to say there's always something beneath what you think. When you think you know the story, there's always another layer to it. So, but yeah, it was interesting. Honestly, the situation lent itself. I was easily able to tie events together with just a little bit of speculation and it make it sound really credible. But
Mm.
that to me makes a good conspiracy thriller. But if you at the end of it you go, yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah. And
So
absolutely using, real life situations, historical events, geopolitical events that are real gives your book that feeling of credibility and reality as well. And you start
absolutely.
buying into the story more, investing into the story more. So I think it worked perfectly. What about Regan Clery? Is she going to be in a sequel? Are you working on part two or a different adventure for her?
Yeah, so there actually is a sequel in the works, and Reagan will be in it. I won't say which other characters will be in it, but there'll be some of the characters will return from Lightning Shadow in because as you're aware, Logan, we didn't resolve all the all the protagonists in the story,
Right.
so they will come back in a sequel. Yes.
Absolutely. How's it we're writing that? Sometimes the first book comes out easier than the second book.
Yeah, it's because it still is a conspiracy thriller. So this one, the second one won't be based in Haiti,
Mm.
and so we're working through it's in the research phase. So yeah, it's interesting. I know I've heard concerns about the way they call it the sophomore slump. So we'll see how it goes, but working through it now. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, the name of this book is Lightning Shadow. It's written by Richard Solmes. It is a great story, an iconic hero, a woman by the name of Regan Clery. She's a journalist turned detective, and she embarks on a mission to unravel an enigmatic presence, that of billionaire Carter Thomas, taking place in Haiti. It's a great book. It's a great read. It's a page turner. Fortunately, there is a sequel coming out as well. Do you have a working title yet, Rick, for the sequel?
I don't. I don't.
Okay.
So I've been struggling with that a little bit. So yeah, that's I don't have a title yet, but it will yeah.
Okay, let's see. Lightning strikes twice.
Yes, and so that's I
Possible.
was trying to go that way. I was actually Logan. That's great that you say that. I was trying to think of Lightning's Return, something.
Right.
But yeah, I'm still working on that. I
Yeah,
don't
you
have
may have to do a little spin on the cliche of lightning strikes twice. But
exactly.
yeah, excellent. I'm looking forward to that sequel as well. Rick, thanks so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Logan.
And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.